This video is sponsored by the website builder SquareSpace. More about them in the main clip. Hello guys, welcome back to the guy who does buying guides for fragrances. Today we are doing the brand of Versace? I don't know, but we're doing every single men's fragrance in the brand. Today we're going to cover the designer side. We're not doing their weird private line stuff because I don't really know. Does anyone actually use those fragrances? I've never actually heard anyone experience the Versace private line stuff. Maybe I should go check it out. But today, basically guys, how these guides work is for each fragrance, we discuss the scent profile, the performance, when to wear a fragrance, and my final scoring out of 10 to effectively give you guys a buying guide for each brand that we cover. So you get an overview of the brands, I kind of tell you what they're all about in general, and we give you timestamps in the description down below, guys, where you can click through to each fragrance and hear about each one individually to your heart's content. Although I don't think today's video should be long, I might be jinxing it. I don't think there's that many fragrances in Versace. So without further ado, let's begin. So what is the brand of Versace all about? To me, they are a complete house where a young beginner in the world of fragrances can build a complete collection using just Versace. Meaning that you can get your fresh, everyday, versatile stuff. You get your seductive date night fragrances, clubbing fragrances, summertime fragrances, even fragrances for the office, although maybe that's Versace's weakest genre. As I said, I think they're youthful, beginner friendly, although I will often hate on them on the channel because I kind of think a lot of their fragrances are a little bit boring, a little bit outdated, and they're kind of just releasing flanker after flanker, like a lot of designer houses are doing nowadays. In fairness, it's not just them, but still, I don't like that. But at the same time, I am a little bit hyped for Eros Energy. They announced that quite a while back, and now they've just kept people in the silence. We're just waiting here for this fragrance to release. Once that comes out, I'll probably just blind buy it because we all want to know what that's about, but still. Although the brand should create more new interesting ideas, they are legendary in some ways. They've created some legendary lines, which we're gonna go through today. Starting with the most cheapest, I don't actually have a bottle of this anymore, but I gave my bottle away. It is Versace Blue Jeans. This is the very cheap fragrance from Versace. It came out in the 90s, and I think it cost me, what, 15 pounds, $20. It is one of the most recommended cheapies in the fragrance community, and I can see why. I have to describe it to you through memory, but how I remember Blue Jeans is that it's very citrus forward, very lemon, fresh, citrusy, a lot of musks, a little bit of sweetness with the vanilla in here. It smells a little bit old school, like it is from the 90s. It's got good projection, medium amount of projection, lasts about 6 hours, which is impressive for this price tag. I think this is an impressive fragrance for a beginner if you want compliments. This is the kind of fragrance I would recommend over something like Nautica Voyage, which I think is a little bit too clumsy in its blend. It goes a little bit weirdly synthetic. I'm not saying Blue Jeans is the most natural fragrance out there, but it is an impressive blend for its price tag. I think it is a solid cheapie. I give it a 9 out of 10 personally. And although it's mainly a spring and summer profile, I will say that you can just wear it as like a school fragrance, for example, all year round. I kind of think that's the kind of use that fragrance would get, personally. Then we have Versace The Dreamer. This is a little bit more expensive, let's say 20 pounds, 25 bucks, something like that, but this is still very impressive for the price also. This is florals, tobacco, lavender, with some tonka bean in here to give it all a bit of thickness, a lot of character. This is a very interesting artistic fragrance. This was the last fragrance that was designed by Gianni Versace before he passed away. That's sort of like the notorious fact that a lot of people know in the fragrance community. So it has a lot of artistic merit because of that, I think. It is balanced, very unique DNA. I think you have to be a very artistic, creative individual to appreciate something like this. It does smell a little bit synthetic. Again, it is this price tag, so you can kind of understand. It is a cool scent though. I think the versatility is great. I would say you can wear it 3 out of 4 seasons, maybe not in the winter time, it's not strong enough for that. It lasts a good amount of time, around 6 to 8 hours also. For me, Versace The Dreamer, again, is a solid cheapie, an interesting signature fragrance that's versatile for most of the year round. I give it a 9 out of 10. By the way, guys, just so you know, I actually did 1-minute reviews of a lot of these fragrances on our website, schoolofscent.com, which is built on today's sponsor, which is SquareSpace. Having a website is pretty much crucial for anyone in the world right now. It is easier today than ever to create a professional looking website. Squarespace helped me out in my time of need as a tech newbie who knows nothing about how to build a website, and they made someone like me be able to look like a pro. They have very innovative and easy to use click and drag designs where you can make a website easily. You have premium templates that allow you to do lots of things like put out your own blog, sell merchandise, sell services, schedule appointments, as well as any other project you may want to have that you want a website for. SquareSpace is my recommended beginner-friendly but premium-looking website builder. They are fantastic and versatile. If you guys use today's link in the video description below, you'll be able to get a 14-day free trial to make a website with them. And then if you use our discount code School of Scent at checkout, you get 10% off your first purchase with Squarespace. So guys, go ahead, look professional, create your dream project or business today using Squarespace. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. And guys, if you support them, you are also supporting School of Scent. Thank you so much. Let's continue the video. Versace Man Eau Fraiche. Now this is a fragrance, again, I'm having to do it through memory. Actually, no, I got a sample of this recently. Actually, a lot of these, I had to get samples again just to re-jog my memory. Versace Man Eau Fraiche is a very unique summertime fragrance that is a cheapie, again, maybe 20 pounds, 25 bucks. It has this iconic star fruit note in there, which doesn't smell realistic. It smells synthetic. It smells like its price tag, but it's a fun, almost tropical swimming pool-esque kind of fragrance. It kind of reminds you of being next to a swimming pool. It's citrusy, synthetic star fruits with some clean musks in here, some ambers to make it a little bit sexy. It gets sexier on the dry down, in my opinion. I think the dry down takes away some of that annoying, weird syntheticness of this fragrance initially, and then becomes attractive. Not that the opening is bad. It still kind of is what it is. It's a fun kind of fragrance. It has its own charm, even though it is very synthetic. So if you want to smell mass appealing, unique like star fruit, you want to have that swimming pool-esque DNA, that vibe. You're a young guy, again, a teenager for the summertime, I think could rock this fragrance really nicely. It's a summertime only 6 hours longevity fragrance. Not bad at all. I give this a 7.5 out of 10. And then we have Versace L'Homme. So actually this fragrance, I wasn't going to put it on this guide because I always thought this fragrance was probably just outdated. This is an old school fragrance. It came out in the 80s, I think. And I thought to myself, no, it's not on the main website anymore. I kind of thought these guys, when we usually do them, we use just whatever's officially on the official house's website, so on the official Versace men's fragrance page. However, I told myself it's easily available still to this day, so I don't think it's discontinued necessarily. So why not? Let's try it properly. And I was very pleasantly surprised. It is my style as a certified old man. This has a mature, old school, very traditional woody chypre DNA to it. If you like fragrances like Aramis, you like YSL Kouros, Chanel's Antaeus, you like the original Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, the little green bottle. This is the fragrance of that style. It reminds you of the 80s. Citrus, woody, chypre, amber, a lot of oak moss in here, a little bit floral, very classy, warm and inviting. Some people say they don't like the opening. I think the opening was fine. I actually really like this straight away. It smells mature. It smells a little bit old school, but actually I think if you're the kind of guy who likes that style, you can still rock this as a signature all year round. And I think it actually gets better on the dry down as the ambers come out and it becomes a little bit more warm and inviting as it goes through its DNA. And the performance is fantastic, at least 8 hours of medium projection. This is a signature material that harkens back to a different style from another day, but I don't think it's redundant. I still think some of you guys might like this, so don't do what I did. I kind of slept on this fragrance for years. I kind of just ignored it. It's very good value for the money, and actually I'd give this a 9 out of 10. I think objectively, artistic merits of it, the blend is really nicely done, so it's a really solid fragrance. It's worth checking out. Versace Pour Homme. Now this is a fragrance I always talk about on the channel. I like this fragrance, basically. That's my summary of this fragrance. Watery, musky, neroli, citruses, sharp, invigorating, very easy to love. This is an easy to love fragrance. If you like Chanel's Allure Sport, this has similarities to it, definitely. This is more like the more transparent, fresh, brighter version of something like Chanel's Allure Sport. You don't necessarily need to own both fragrances. I do, but hey, I love the DNA of both. I like this DNA. It's just a very fresh, easy to like, daily masculine fragrance, very clean. It is a dumb reach through and through. Although this is a spring and summer fragrance for all intensive purposes, it's still a fragrance you can wear as, like, let's say your errands fragrance, or you want to just throw this in your gym bag or something like that. Get a big bottle of this stuff. It lasts maybe 6 hours at most, but you can overspray this very easily. And I still think you'll enjoy this fragrance so much. It's one of those fragrances that's where the scent profile is so enjoyable. You don't really care about the fact that the performance is a little bit limited. This is one of the best from Versace, one of the best blends, a masterpiece by Alberto Morillas. I would give this a 9 out of 10 personally. Then we have Versace Oud Noir, which I used to have a bottle of it, and I actually got a sample of it again to re-jog my memory. This is often compared to Tom Ford's Oud Wood. As people say, oh, this is like the affordable clone of Oud Wood. No, it's not really. I think they have some similarities, very much only in the opening, the first minute or so, but then it goes into a completely different direction to Oud Wood. This is synthetic oud. It's not a real oud fragrance. I'm going to tell you that now. You have to pay a lot of money for real oud, guys, just so you're aware. But Oud Noir might actually still be a good beginner oud scent. It kind of is that style still. This is very dry, woody. They probably use cedar wood to replicate the oud effect here. This is very dark. This is a big time patchouli fragrance. So if you like that dark, mysterious, edgy style to yourself, you want a dark signature, this might be the fragrance for you. I think you can still find this fairly affordable in some places. I'm not sure if it's discontinued officially or not. People said it was discontinued years ago, but I still see it everywhere. Well, if you do a Google search at least, you can see it quite often. But this is dark, a little bit floral, spicy. This has quite clean musks. This actually becomes a little bit more clean on the dry down, which is quite interesting. It goes away from that oud effect that it's going for. It's not a very long lasting fragrance. It lasts about 6 hours. But again, if you want a fairly interesting, artistic, nicely blended dark signature, you can wear most of the year round, apart from the summertime, I would say. It's more of an evening fragrance, but hey, again, if you like that dark style, wear it in the daytime. Why not? You do you. So 6 hours, soft to medium projection. This could work really nicely as a day-night fragrance also. Very distinct. It's not for everyone, but it's definitely a cool fragrance still. I'd personally give this a 7.5 out of 10. Versace Dylan Blue. I'm actually shocked. I actually think I finally gave my bottle away. So that kind of summarizes what I think of this fragrance. This is the blue scent from Versace. It's taking that success from Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel, making it their own. This to me always smelled like it was Dior Sauvage, Bleu de Chanel and Acqua Di Gio all had a baby. So it has that ambroxan from Sauvage, it has that dark incense from Bleu de Chanel, it has those aquatic notes from Acqua Di Gio. It is a youthful shower gel, it smells like you're fresh out of the shower, bright citruses. It has a balance of brightness and darkness. So this is definitely a versatile blue scent through and through. What disappointed me about this fragrance was how I thought it smelled overly synthetic. It's a cool scent for the younger guys. I know there's people who swear by it. I was never that big into it. I feel like, yes, it's beginner friendly, it's nice for teenagers, and that's pretty much it, in my opinion. I think if you're in your 20s and above, go for other blue scents. I think Bleu de Chanel beats it, definitely, in my opinion. And we even did a poll on our community tab recently where Bleu de Chanel easily won our blue fragrance battle. But I actually enjoyed Dylan Blue when it was stronger. For some reason, my bottle just didn't perform. I used a tester from a store before I had my own bottle, and it was so much stronger. Maybe if it had that strength, maybe people who have those old bottles with really strong projection, it has more of that charm there. It's an easy to understand fragrance, so it can easily get you compliments. For me though, it just felt underwhelming. There are other alternatives that are better, the more mature you are in yourself. So I don't think it's that great. I personally give it a 6 out of 10, but I can't deny it is versatile and you may still enjoy it. Here we go, Versace Eros Eau de Toilette. So we started the Eros section of this video. Let's go through this because there's a lot of flankers to go through. Eros Eau de Toilette is what started it all off in 2012, and it got notoriety in the community for being the quintessential clubbing fragrance. Loud, sweet, fun, playful. I don't think this is only a clubbing scent necessarily. I just think this is a very casual, easy to love DNA. It was one of my first fragrances I got as a beginner, and I really loved it straight away, and then I didn't. How would I describe the scent profile of Versace Eros? It has 3 main notes: green apple, mint, and vanilla. It has bright freshness up top, and then it quickly changes on the dry down to a vanilla. It has some florals in the mids, like geranium I think is in there. It has that tonka bean as well, which adds this thickness, this sweetness to the vanilla, overall making it a sort of, let's say, syrupy sweet fragrance. This becomes very sweet on the dry down. It has almost a fuzziness to it as well. So it's like a fuzzy, balanced, minty, vanillic fragrance is how I would describe Versace Eros. A lot of people say this has been reformulated really heavily, but even when people were saying that back in the day when I had my bottle, I still felt like this performed really well. I still feel like Versace Eros is a good performer. My bottle at least, which I think is a 2019 bottle. I don't quote me on that because I can't remember exactly, but I think this is a 2019 bottle. This bottle for me lasts, I think 8 to 10 hours with a medium to loud projection, so it's still usable for clubbing. but to me it just smells very boring. As I said, it's the dry down, it becomes very simplistic with that sweet vanilla. It just kind of jumps really suddenly, and that's why I actually got bored of this really quickly. Even as a beginner, several weeks into wearing it, I actually gave my bottle away really soon after getting this bottle. But heck, it's versatile. You can pretty much wear this all year round, day and night. It's not a very professional fragrance, but if you want to wear this to school, go easy on the trigger, you can do that. It's good for teenagers. I think it's a beginner-friendly teenager scent. Once again, the Versace strength is found here in this fragrance. So it has a lot going for it. It's not the worst fragrance. I would give this a 7.5 out of 10. Then I got a sample of the Eau Parfum, which to me smelled a little bit more focused on the mid. It smelled more smooth, a little bit more mature, and I can understand why in a note breakdown I've taken away that green apple and replaced it with the red apple, which makes it a little bit more sweet, a little bit more subdued. This is sort of like the suave, classy man version of the Eau de Toilette. I prefer the EDP over the EDT, but for me they're still very similar. I don't think you need to own both. I think with the Eros bottles, the blue bottles, well, actually Eros in general, you only need to own one of them. I think you should just pick the one that's your favorite and stick to it. So the EDP is still very similar to the EDT. It's just more classy, more smooth, more focused on the heart notes, on the florals, so it's just a bit more suave and sophisticated. It lasts a really long time, still over 8 hours with a medium projection. I'd give this version an 8 out of 10. And then we had the Parfum, and I was always confused as to why they made so many Eros flankers, because they all smell so similar. But hey, very shortly after the EDP came out, the Parfum came out. I thought it was a prank at first, but no, it's real. And I got a sample of this. This brings back the green apple. This focuses more on the base. It feels more tonka heavy to me. It feels more smooth and creamy because of that focus on the tonka. This feels more balanced. It's got a nice smooth blend. Again, it's smoothed out the EDT, they've improved it, but it smells more balanced overall. The top notes of the green notes is bright, at the same time has that thickness from the tonka bean, that heaviness from the base. This to me smells like the best version out of the 3 blue bottles. It's the most versatile. I think you can wear this all year round in the day and the night. It smells a little bit more mature. I feel like as you go up the concentrations, it smells a bit more sophisticated, a little bit more mature. It's my favorite out of the 3 blue bottles. So for me, the Parfum gets an 8.5 out of 10. But again, it's not hugely different from the other 2. So pick one, it's still my recommendation. And then we have Versace Eros Flame, which again, a lot of people say this was discontinued, but I don't think it's that hard to find still to this day. So to me, this is Versace Eros Eau de Toilette, but take away the green apple, put in some orange citruses in here, and this just smells a little bit more smooth. So this is redundant to own, again, if you already have the Eau de Toilette, you don't need to own both the blue bottle and the red bottle in my opinion. It's just citrusy, a little bit more smooth. The citrus kind of gives it that flame, fiery effect that they're trying to go for here, but then it just goes down to this very vanillic backbone again. But I will say it doesn't jump like the Eau de Toilette does in my opinion. This is a bit more gradual in its blend into the base. This lasts 14 hours on me. This is a beastly fragrance with a medium to loud projection. This is a great clubbing scent as well, at least this bottle for me. For me, this seems like it has a bigger compliment factor, but I feel like the Eros DNA in general is a big compliment getting DNA. So yes, this is still a great fragrance. I'll give this an 8 out of 10. And I can't believe it, but that actually brings us to the end of the video. You know, fair play to Versace. Although I do think they have too many flankers of some lines, Eros, I will say they don't overdo it as much as other houses do. So yes, you can get a lot of your collection done in one fragrance brand using Versace, which is quite cool. As I said, you can get everything that you need for each genre in your collection just using them. And I am looking forward to Versace Eros Energy, which will be quite exciting. What do you guys think? Are you excited for that fragrance release also, or do you not care too much? Overall, I will say my personal favorite from the brand is still Versace Pour Homme. It's a classic, it's easy to wear, I love it. But let me know what you guys think. What are your favorites or least liked fragrances that you would choose in the brand of Versace? What do you think of Versace in general as a fragrance house? And again, guys, make sure to check out SquareSpace. Thank you to them for sponsoring today's video. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to check out our previous buying guide for Louis Vuitton up here. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.